I'm basically doing like a little bit of a fall/winter cleaning. So instead of spring cleaning, I'm doing fall/winter cleaning, which is kind of fun. So I'm so excited about that. Good morning. It is currently 10:38 in the morning. I am actually supposed to be at work today, but we were up a lot of nurses, so I got to stay home until 3 p.m. So I'll be at work later today. However, between yesterday and today, I was like, okay, I have some time. I can like relax and I'm going to go through my bookshelves because I have so many books on my TBR. I can't count it anymore. Also, I painted my nails green. They're very cute. Anyway, I can't count it anymore because I get overwhelmed, you know? And I'm trying to not be overwhelmed. And yes, I have a bonnet on. I'm not taking it off. I was looking through my bookshelves and I genuinely was like, okay, so half of these books I have not read. Literally here, this way I've read, here, that way I haven't read. I'm sitting here because like this background is so cute. I've kind of reorganized my books, but not really. But like I wanted these to be at eye level, even though my giant noggin is blocking it. Anyway, good morning. The reason I am starting this video is because yesterday and today I went through and I picked out some books that I just was like, I don't think I'm gonna read. I don't think I'm gonna read anytime soon. And I have 4 bookshelves now. So my last bookshelf organization video, I got rid of one of the bookshelves, consolidated everything into 4. And it's just, I love having so many books. And my goal is still to have 1,000 books and be an official library. But I genuinely am like, I want 1,000 books that I have read, loved, and enjoy, right? That is kind of my goal. I want 1,000 books that if anyone is like, hey, what book should I read? I can be like, yep, this one was this one was good, this one is good, you know? And obviously I will still have a TBR. Don't get me wrong. I'm not over here with this weird illusion that I will never have a TBR. However, right now I am overwhelmed. Which, as someone with anxiety, I already know that. I already know that things will overwhelm me. But like the other day, I was like, I want to read a book. And then I walked in and I'm like, whoa, I have a lot of books. And I love that. The cognitive dissonance in my brain is like, it's weird because like I love having so many books. But then it's like, oh my goodness, I have so many books to choose from. And I am a chronic book shopper. I love to buy books. I think I just need to like pick one, you know? My brain needs to pick one and stay. Anyway, moral of the story, the reason you clicked on this video, I picked out about 60 books that I was like, I don't think I'm gonna read these anytime soon. I don't think I want to have them on my shelves. I don't think I want to read them. There's a couple of them in there that I feel like might ruffle some feathers on the interwebs, but you know what? We're gonna do it. I'm gonna start with the books that I have duplicates of because some of these I genuinely am like, why am I keeping multiple copies? If it's An Ember in the Ashes or Red, White, and Royal Blue, I will collect all the copies that exist on this planet. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I think I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 copies of the book An Ember in the Ashes, and then I have 3 copies of A Torch Against the Night. We don't have to talk about it. I will continue to collect those books. If I find them, especially at the thrift store, I will buy it. I will. Absolutely. Anyway, moving on. Let's start with the books that I have duplicates of. First off, we have Once Upon a Broken Heart. This book is in Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. I can't read Spanish. I saw it and I was like, that's so pretty. I'm gonna buy it. I haven't even read the book yet. So yeah, someone else can enjoy this because it's literally doing nothing on my shelf. I'm so sorry. Next up, and this might be, well, I don't know, but it's House of Sky and Breath and House of Flame and Shadow. I own these books in paperback. I don't know why I still have the hard copies. I've already read these books. I actually did enjoy them, but we know the things about Sarah J. Maas, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I don't need the hardcovers. Next up, and this one pains me a little bit. I think I put the dust jacket back upside down. Hold, please. But yeah, this one pains me a little bit because I actually love this book. I absolutely adored this book, but I don't need 2 copies of them. I already have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue in paperback, and I love this cover, but I hate these edges, like these like weird edges. But I also, if I were to reread this book, I would not read the hardcover. So I'm gonna keep this and get rid of this. By the way, I also recently read Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Swirl. Fantastic book. Fantastic. If you love vampires, fantastic. Moving on, I found this paperback of Happy Place. I already own and have read Happy Place. I actually also have the UK copy of Happy Place. We don't need to talk about it. But I found this. I was so excited. Then I got home and I realized it's got some water damage. And that makes me so sad. Because like I wanted to keep this, but I'm just going to redonate it to my Goodwill so somebody else can get it for cheap like I did. But I have the paperback of Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, so I'm gonna get rid of the hardcover. I've already read it, loved this book, enjoyed it, but if I were to reread it, I would reread the paperback, not the hardcover, you know? Same with The Midnight Library. I actually lent this to Emily and she gave it back to me, and Emily, you can have it. I have the paperback of it, so I'm just gonna get rid of the hardcover of it. And also the same with Daisy Jones and the Six. I already read this book. I already have the paperback. I don't need to keep the hardcover. The books that I have the hardcover of are The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I got the edition with the rings, and then recently Atmosphere, because it only came out in hardcover. So once Atmosphere comes out in paperback, I will probably purchase that and keep both, and any special editions that come out, because those two are my favorite books. And Red, White, and Royal Blue, and An Ember in the Ashes, and a few other books that we don't need to get into. Moving on. Next up, I have 4 books by L. Kennedy. I have read and love The Graham Effect, The Dixon Rule, The Charlie Method. I love those books. And they're sports romances. They're fine. There's another book of L. Kennedy that I read that I'm like, okay. But I don't think I'm going to read any more L. Kennedy books. That's not to say her books are not good, but like, there's so many sports romances out there. And I think I'm in my fantasy era right now. So if I get back into like heavy romance, then we can buy more. But I'm really into just like queer romances and then just fantasy books. Fantasy, romantasy, and queer romances. That's kind of what I've been thriving in right now. But in terms of L. Kennedy books, I have The Summer Girl, Misfit, The Mistake, and The Deal. These are part of the Off-Campus series. Yeah. And I don't know if these are books 1 and I don't know what books these are in the series, but I'm not going to get the rest of the series, so I'm going to get rid of these. Next up, I have 2 Jennifer L. Armentrout books. There are so many books that this author has written. I don't know where to start. I don't know if I want to start, you know, but like there's just so many. So I have A Shadow in the Ember, and then I have Storm and Fury, both by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I don't know what series these are in. I don't know what number of book these are in the series. I just don't think I'm going to read these anytime soon. I've been reading a lot of books written by like authors of color. So yeah, I'm going to give those to somebody else who needs it. These books I will either donate or find local free libraries. I have a couple other books in my cart that I've been meaning to stop by local free libraries, little free libraries. So yeah. Or I'll take probably the really good condition ones to half price books and get a few bucks for it so I can buy more books. Anyway, moving on. Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. I don't read a lot of thriller. I tend to listen to thrillers. So if I'm going to read this book, I'm probably just going to get it on Libby and read it on Libby. Next up, which is actually kind of funny because I just started collecting these books this year, but then I was thinking yesterday, I was like, I don't think I'm actually going to reread them. I genuinely don't think I will. But I have The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. And I just like, when I found really good conditions of these at Goodwill, that's when I bought them. But I just like, I don't think I'm going to reread them. And there's nothing wrong with them. It's just, I don't think I'm going to go back to the 2014 era. Well, you can't see, it's one above. I recently reread all of Shatter Me. Love that series, but like it was nostalgic for me because I read them in the past. I absolutely enjoyed them in the past. So rereading it was very nostalgic for me because I have already read them. Same with The Selection, which I have right here. I haven't reread them. I don't know if I'm gonna reread them, but these books are extremely nostalgic to me because I read them already. I did not read The Hunger Games. I did not read Divergent. I did not read Harry Potter. Not that I will right now anyway, because we know. But yeah, like the books that I didn't read, a part of me is like, oh, I should, but I'm genuinely like, girl, I'm in school. I have so many other things and so many other books that I could be reading right now. So no hate to this author because these books are fantastic, as everyone knows and has said, but I just don't think I will be rereading them. And if I do, I will get them like on Libby or on my Kindle or whatever. So I was trying to make this video not super long, but in addition to The Hunger Games and Catching Fire, I also have The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I found this copy at Goodwill as well. Didn't come with a dust jacket, but I really love the picture at the front. But yeah, I'm not going to read it. Here's one more fantasy book. This is a young adult fantasy book, Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I'm not going to anytime soon. 3 books by Rebecca Yarros. I actually had a few other books by Rebecca Yarros of her contemporary romance books, and I had gotten rid of those when I redid my library a while ago, but I was keeping these because I was like, oh, maybe I'll read them, but no. I have read Fourth Wing, Iron Flame, and Onyx Storm. I think I'll just stick with the Empyrean series, and then that's it from Rebecca Yarros that I'll read. So I'm going to get rid of The Things We Leave Unfinished, The Last Letter, and Full Measures. I've heard really good things about The Last Letter, but no. I'm not going to. Next up, and this might ruffle some feathers, but A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Cole. Emily has read this book and she says I should read it, but she was crying the entire time. And let me tell you, I don't need that. I don't need that. So I'm going to give this to somebody else who wants to go through that. I'm not going to read it. I'm sorry. Next up, I have 3 books by Gabrielle Zevin. I have heard really good things about Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but every time I think about picking it up, I just have no interest. And it's not, I think like I'm not into video games. No, I'm not going to. And somebody else who has been wanting to read it can find it and get it for really cheap and read it. And then in addition to that, I also have The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. I think I watched this movie already. The movie has Lucy, what's her name? Lucy Hale, I think. She plays Arya in Pretty Little Liars. Anyway, I think I watched the movie already. I'm not going to read the book. Same with The Hole We're In. There are other books by Gabrielle Zevin that I see at the thrift store a lot, and I'm not going to buy any. Yeah. Next up, I have 2 books by Jessa Hastings. I have the first book. My Vocera says the battery is low. Yeah, I'll take it to work at 3. Anyway, I have Magnolia Park and I have Never by Jessa Hastings. This one, I'm just not interested in a Peter Pan retelling right now because I recently read Hook by Emily McIntyre. It was okay. But Magnolia Parks, I have heard either people are obsessed and love the series or they just detest the series. A lot of people describe it as Gossip Girl in London, and I did actually enjoy Gossip Girl when I was younger. However, the trope that I have heard are in this book and the series, I am not interested. You know, there's a lot of just like toxicity that I've heard of in the series, and I don't want that. I want to like read a book and enjoy it instead of being like pissed off the entire time. And yeah, the cover is so pretty. Like the shoe covers are so pretty. Even the other covers are so pretty, but like no. Next up, I have other books by Carrie Maniscalco. I have the Kingdom of the Wicked. I think Kingdom of the Wicked and Kingdom of the Fear, whatever 1 and 2 are, I have those. But Stalking Jack the Ripper, I don't have any interest in reading this one. And honestly, I might get rid of the Kingdom of the Wicked series as well, but I'm going to keep those and see if I get to it towards the end of the year or start of next year. And then if I don't, the next time I do a book unhaul, like a big one that I film, then I will probably include it. But I've been trying, like, I love young adult books, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are just a little bit too young for me. And I don't know if I want that. Like, I think I just want more like simple, honestly, just like stupid adult romance books. Like, stupid is a bad word, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want it to be too deep sometimes, but I do enjoy a very anyway, moral of the story is this one might also piss some people off, but I have heard fantastic things about this series. Let me tell you, some of my favorite booktubers have loved and enjoyed this series, and they absolutely are correct. But they also say truthfully that the topics in this are very, very heavy, and I don't know. No. Not right now. You know, there are some books that I personally am like, I want a sad time and I will go for, but no, not right now. I think I'm just, like I said, I want like simpler. Yeah. Somebody else who's been wanting to read this book can find it and read it. And I'm very happy to be of service to you. So you can have Binding 13. Next up, I've kind of gone back and forth on whether I should keep or get rid of this book, but ultimately it came down to this is a young adult book, and somebody else can enjoy it. This one is not a young adult book, but A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I'm not going to read it. I've kind of been collecting some dark romance books because I love the Mind F series and I wanted to get more into darker romances. So I have a few others that I'm going to read. And then I will tell you if I start reading dark romance and I'm just like, nope, absolutely not. I absolutely will unhaul those books. So yeah. Next up, I just have, I think it's like a sci-fi novel. Yep, sci-fi. It's called Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson. I will not read it. The same with Scythe by Neil Schusterman. I just realized both their names are Neil, but yeah, I've heard really good things about this book, but again, I'm not gonna read it. And then these two might also ruffle some feathers because these are Steelheart and Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. The world of Brandon Sanderson is just too big for me to get into. And also, I am not really into sci-fi. And also, these are young adult books. So I'm just like, no, somebody else who enjoys these can have them. Next up, I have Mad Honey by Jodi Picoult and Jennifer somebody. I'm getting rid of this book because I'm just not gonna read it. And I actually was debating, so I'm gonna set this away. But I also actually was debating getting rid of Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. I started reading this book last year. I want to say like 90 or so pages in, maybe 100 pages in. It doesn't matter. But I started reading this book last year, and on my 2024 reading recap or whatever, one of those videos I posted at the very end of 2024, this book follows a Black nurse. She is a labor and delivery nurse, so she works with children. I'm a Black nurse. I work with children. So I was already so excited because I could relate to the main character. However, the way the white supremacist family man Turk was talking to her, like, I genuinely felt like he was talking to me, and I don't need that in a book. I don't need to be reading a book that is just so real life that I am feeling that uncomfortable. Like, I'm not saying that I shouldn't feel the emotions. Obviously I should feel the emotions, but those are just so, racism in this country is so prevalent, and I see a lot of it in my day-to-day life. So I don't need to in a book. And this book came out in 2018, right? So it's been 7 years, but like some of the things he was saying, you would think that he shouldn't be saying, but like people say it today. So I'm keeping this because I am going to give it one more shot. I'm going to try to read this book again at whatever point. This is not a priority at all. Unfortunately, I will get to it when I get to it. And if I start reading it and I'm just also again like, nope, I will unhaul it. I will donate it. I know a lot of people love this book. And I want to love it too, but like, it's just a little bit too real, and maybe that makes me a wimp, but here we are. So I'm just going to put it back. It is not a priority. So yeah. Next up, I have Death Note. Genuinely, I love this book so much. I love how it looks. I love the black sprayed edges. And I was flipping through it earlier. I was like, I don't think I'm going to read this ever. Moving on. I have a few thriller books, so we're going to try to go through this quickly. I have All Good People Here by Ashley Flowers. I have It's Always the Husband by Michelle Campbell. I have 4 Riley Sager books. I kept 1, so I figured I would get rid of the others. I'm getting rid of The House Across the Lake, Final Girls, Middle of the Night, and With a Vengeance. Again, my thing with thrillers is I tend to listen to thrillers, so I really don't need the physical copies. I have a stash of thrillers down here that I've read, and I honestly might get rid of those as well, but I've mainly focused on the TBR shelves today. But speaking of, I also have Divergent. So earlier we were talking about Hunger Games. I also never read Divergent when it was popular, and I just don't think I will anytime soon, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I also have The Martian by Andy Weir. I have heard really good things about this book, but I'm not gonna read it. I'll just watch the movie, which sounds bad, but like, I'm not gonna read it. I also have, this is The Girl Who Drank the Moon. I believe this is a young adult book as well. I mean, it looks like it's a young adult book. So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't see myself reading it anytime soon. Okay, lastly, I am getting rid of, and I will take a picture because I'm going to go through these, but I am getting rid of all of my Cassandra Clare books. All of them. I loved Cassandra Clare when I was younger. Loved the Mortal Instruments series, because the series that I read, like for sure that I know I read all the books of, were the Mortal Instruments. I absolutely loved these books, and I want to keep it for the nostalgia, but I don't think I want to. Like, I want to keep it for the nostalgia, but I don't want to. So I have read these 6 books, but I don't think I read the other ones of the Cassandra Clare books, especially not the newer ones. So I have City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. I am getting rid of all of these books. I'm going to keep them together, so hopefully if someone finds it, they can get it all as a set. So yeah. I also have the book 1 of the Infernal Devices. This is Clockwork Angel. I will not read it either. And then I have the Dark Artifices series. So this is Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, and Queen of Air and Darkness. This one's a hardcover. Back to the Infernal Devices trilogy. I also have book 3 of the Infernal Devices. This is Clockwork Princess. But I have the collector's edition, which is so pretty, but yeah, someone can find that. Last but not least, I have The Bane Chronicles. I never read it. I don't think I ever will. And then Chain of Gold is, I think, her newer series that is coming out recently or just now, but I'm not going to read it. So yeah, those are the 60 books that I am going to be unhauling. I already feel a little bit lighter. I kind of rearranged this shelf, especially because I put these 3 series together and then I just moved the books around. And I love how they're already looking. I have books at the bottom. I've rearranged some things around, which is good. I have a completely empty shelf on that side of my bookshelves that now I don't feel like I can't buy any more books, like I can. But yeah, I'm going to try to edit this video today since I still have time before 3 o'clock, and I'm going to try to edit it quickly, and maybe I'll cut out some of the yapping that I've been doing because this video doesn't need to be that long. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next one.